you want to meet with this perfume.
We love.
Who's coming with me? It's the short side. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. It's the short side. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. Kill the cancer, you can call me a sick assassin. Cut the chains, you can call me LeBron James. Make a decision, but you never had me in derision. Change the vision, but mark them that cause division. For real? Never in submission like I need permission. Nigga steady telling lies like a politician. Nigga need to cool it down, but we the new addition. Yes. Yeah, the name is the source. Check the reinvention. For real? You think we not prepared for the fallout? Watch us stack this information. Watch
Yeah, we're gonna let the family roll on in here, man. Get ready for an epic breakdown, right? Source style, baby. Seeing that we are the source, right? Yeah, y'all come on in here, family. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hold up. We in the building, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's about to be an epic breakdown. A lot of talk, a lot of innuendos, a lot of speculation, right? What we're saying is, you got to come deal with these sources, man. Source up or shut up, man. That's what we about, man. We keeping this thing rocking and rolling, man. Brothers and sisters been hitting me up all over the country. Saying, yo, waiting on that Esau breakdown. Because it's a lot of confusion, man. And see, what happens is you come across brothers, they never tell you this, right? They never tell you this. It'd be like, they supervise that their job is white, right? Or their neighbor is white, or their sister's boyfriend or husband is white. So we can't condemn the white man. They're always concerned about the white man. I don't never hear Negroes talk about, well, what about the Chinese man? They say, what about the Asians? What about the Arabs? I don't hear that, man. It's always, what about the white man? Right? So we're just going to be truthful, man. And we're going to be honest with the scholarship, man. Right? We're going to be honest with the scholarship, man. At the end of the day, we have to take these things in consideration, man. And we have to look at the information and vet the sources for what they are. I can't make a source be what I want it to be. I can't warp information and twist it to what I want it to be. We have to accept it for what it is. And it begins with location. Some Negroes be running around and talking about location, location, location. Understand this, man. When it comes to the information and when it comes to your ability to do proper research, you have to present the information and you wait for the rebuttals. And if there are any rebuttals, bring them. Because One thing they don't like to see is the greatest accessory I got. Right? I am the Source Debate League Legacy Champion. 16-0. Right? And they don't like that. You got a problem with the information? Let's go. Brother tried to ambush me the other night. Right, Is? Right, Lou? Brother tried to ambush us the other night.
Don't get me started on that.
Right? He tried to ambush us, man. So, trying to, doing some impromptu debate. Say, man, look here, man. I don't operate like that, man. I got a whole lead. And if you want to get it in, it's not a problem. You be on a clubhouse, man. The clubhouse.
The brother got real proud and haughty too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I told him, I said, look, it's not a problem, man. If you want to get it in, say the word, man. We can set it up, bro. It's what we do. See what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, tonight, we're going to be dealing with Esau, man, right? Y'all can see the flyer. Like I said, brothers and sisters been chiming in, waiting on this powerful breakdown. I mean, like it's been, it's almost beating a dead horse. We brought the information forth, but not in this way. Not in a way without interruption, without somebody else bringing in certain level of confusion. We just gonna present the information and just wait for the rebuttal, right? And that's fine, and we'll deal with that when it comes. But the thing is and one of the things that really sparked this was the clubhouse, right? And no disrespect to the brothers there. It's a lot of powerful brothers on there, a lot of good brothers on there, but it's a lot of novices too. And it's an atmosphere that is prime for rhetoric. There's no pressure for sources. You just get to say what you want to say how you feel, and but no, not over here at the source, right? So there's been a debate, right? It's been much confusion concerning, is Esau the white man? Is Esau the Arab? No, Esau's the Arab. He lives by the sword. Oh, Esau's the white man. I'm here to tell you right now, Esau's the white man. Esau's the Arab. Esau's the Christian. Let's start with this scripture right here, man. Give me in the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. 6 and 9. I believe 6 and 9, it might be 7 and 9. Right? Let's start with it, right?
Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is it, the beginning of it that followeth. In order for this to be true, Esau has to be ruling right now. And the question is, there are 3 major religions on the earth. Hey, Lou, what's the 3 major religions on the earth?
We got Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
There you go. These are the 3 major religions. So is it a coincidence that the heads of each religion look exactly the same?
Respect.
So how did it get this way? How in 2021 brothers are arguing Esau's the Arab, Esau's the white man, when Esau, the Arab, and the white man look exactly the same? When you get to the higher ups, we're not talking about these sand-colored people, and then as you get on further down, they become darker. That's when you start to hit the Israelites, the second-class citizens, because they got conquered by somebody, and we're going to go into it. right? So without further ado, man, I want to let everybody know, man, listen, man, follow me on Instagram at YirmeYah. Please say the Yah. I got a new shirt in. It says what? Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That's a good one.
Yo, shout out to my elder, man, Elder Zabak, man. Shout out to Pro Rizzo, man. We be in the clubhouse, brother. Let me finish, man. Right? As you can see here, I got the outline of a man's face right here. And he's screaming. And what did he say? Let me finish.
That's
right?
dope. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah, man. So if y'all interested in that, man, hit me up on Instagram. YirmeYah, please say the Yah, right? Or hit me up on Facebook at YirmeYah, right? So, yeah, that's right, bro. We about to get into it. Somebody said it. Look, out the gate, mixed in with Chittum. That's exactly right. We about to go into it. We about to go into it. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother, man. All right, so check it out. Got a PowerPoint presentation for y'all, man. This is how we're gonna start. All right, Lou, I want you to read this first part. Then I'm gonna be transitioning into some of the book sources that I have. This is about to be a powerful presentation, man. All right, so let's get it started. All right. All right, so these three major religions, the three major religions on the earth, we got to examine these things. We got to come to a consensus and understand how did the earth get into the way that it has come? And why are they warring in the Middle East? For those that are watching, we got a powerful presentation from a brother who has lived many years in the Middle East and traveled back and forth regularly, right? I so belovedly call him by the name of Free. Right, Freedom. My brother Freedom will be in attendance tomorrow on the Source Debate League, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right, tune in for that. He's going to be going into biblical prophecy concerning what's going on in Israel, right, and what's going on with biblical prophecy concerning the war and the conflict in Israel. So that's going to be another powerful interview that I'll be doing tomorrow, right? So, first thing we want to go into, let me get my PowerPoint, put it up here. Let me know if you can see this, Lou. Right? Hold up. Before we get there, let me blow up my screen because a lot of this I want you to be able to see. Right? Well, a lot of this I want you to be able to see. It is back in here. All right. All right, so I'm going to blow the screen up so you all can see PowerPoint. We're going to go into this information, man, right? Tell me, can you see that clearly?
Yeah, I can see that, brother.
That's right, Con.
All right, let's go. Go ahead and read that out.
Who are the Edomites? Let us start with Alexander the Great.
Let us start with Alexander the Great. Why?
He was an Edomite.
Man, way to be a spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can remember who he is close enough in history from high school.
Exactly.
He
But
fresh
not
in
only
our
that,
mind.
there's a biblical prophecy in Genesis chapter 27, and I want us to read it real quick, which I didn't put a part of my presentation, but I want y'all to read this real quick. Give me Genesis chapter 27, dealing with the prophecy that was promised to Edom, right? Salaki, it's going to be, Genesis 27, start at the 38th verse.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father?
Uh-huh.
Bless me. He said, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. Oh, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice, wept.
That's right. Bless me also. Bless me also. Yeah, shout out to Elijah, man. Yeah, I seen you out there. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate the love and support, man. Sincerely.
Shalom,
man.
Ma. Long time no see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What are you talking about, Wesley? All right. All right. Read on.
Chapter verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And
fatness of the earth. So we have to take this in consideration. Watch this, Lou. When you travel to Hawaii, what race of people are living in the mansions, living in the best places in Hawaii?
The white man.
When you travel to Japan and you go to the skyscrapers and you look at the penthouses, what people is living in the best places over there?
I mean,
Esau.
from my knowledge, the Japanese, but I guess the white man, he got his hand in everything.
No, listen, bro. He got his hand in everything, bro. Listen, when you go to Australia, travel to Australia, who's living in the penthouses out there, man?
They over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, they are everywhere on the earth, and where they go, they have the best. This is a blessing for them, right? Read.
But thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Right, as the dew of heaven, meaning they're going to have the best places during their time to rule. The question is, when did they get their time to rule? Right, read.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword thou shalt live. Come on.
And thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
It's very important that we understand this. When did Esau break the yoke off their necks from the dominating force of the children of Israel? When did this happen in antiquity? When did this happen? And we have to take this in consideration. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Read it again.
Who are the Edomites? Let us start with Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great. Biographical sources state that Alexander was not dark-skinned. Plutarch complained that the painter Apelles, whose work is lost, made him too swarthy looking.
Right.
Saying that he was actually white, even ruddy, in his face and chest.
Right.
It is possible that this reflects the Thracian strand in his ancestry. Since the ancient Thracians were known to have some blonde and red-haired people among them.
Hold up now. They were known to have what?
Blonde and red-haired people among them.
Come on.
Other late authors claim. And then the brother's comment is in there. Hold on,
okay, so let me fix that. My bad.
It's all right.
My bad. All right, there we go.
Other late authors claim that he had one blue eye and one black.
So now we know that the Thruskins, right, have an ancestral appearance about them. Hey, Lou, it's very important we pay attention to that, right?
Right.
If you could tell us again, what was their ancestral appearance?
They were white, even ruddy.
Right. What about their hair?
Some blondes and red-haired people among them.
There you go. Very important we take that in consideration, because now I don't think nobody would argue with us, brother, is whether or not Alexander the Great was a white man, right?
That's right.
Okay, let's move on here. So now it's very important that we note that what? Read.
Who is Haman? Esther chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
The what?
The Agagite.
The Agagite, go ahead.
And advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So now we're identifying people. We started with Alexander. It was important that we identified him as a so-called white man, because there's no such thing as white people, just like there's no such thing as black people. Okay?
Big facts.
So now we identified him, his hair color, his hair texture. We ain't even gonna go into Genesis chapter 25 so you Negroes can start arguing. All right, we're not even gonna do that. We don't have to. Okay, we're familiar with Genesis 25, and we're beyond that. We have growth here, right? So it says what? Who is Haman? Right? Haman was an Agagite. Understand that, right?
That's important to remember.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, anytime you brothers want to chime in, man. Right? Read.
Who is Agag? 1 Samuel 15:32. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past.
So now we found out that Haman was an Agagite. The question is, who is Agag? We found out in 1 Samuel 15:32, Agag was the king of who, Brother Luke?
The Amalekites.
He was the king of the Amalekites. Now, I would encourage you all to go and read these chapters. But for the sake of time, we're going to get straight to the meat. 1 Samuel 15:32, it lets us know, it let you and I know that Agag was the king of the Amalekites. Now, the Amalekites, who were they? Read.
Who is Amalek? Genesis 36:12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
Who?
Amalek.
That's right. Go ahead.
These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife.
See that? They were the sons of Adah, who? Esau's wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we pay attention to this, right? Somebody just jumped in. Who is it? Uh-oh. E37 in the building. Yo. Mahal.
Shalom. I just called to say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Most I bless. Brothers bring the flames and fires, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing I'd like to say is one thing, you know what I'm saying? One thing for people to think about, okay? Right? Esau, European, have world dominion on this planet Earth. Then you talk about 4 kingdoms, right? Rome, we talk about the Babylonian, you talk about the Persian Mede, the goat, the ram, which is the Persian and Mede, and then go to the goat, which is the Hellenistic period, the Greek, and go to the 4th kingdom, Rome. You know what I'm saying? So you got Babylon, right? You got the Persian and Mede, you got Greek, Rome, and the little horn that came out of there, all that stuff like Antioch. Then you got America. There's only 4 kingdoms in Daniel's. Okay? Esau is the end of the world, second Esdras. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The so-called European white man have world dominion. You have U.S. embassies all over the globe. In every country, mostly every prominent country on the planet Earth, he has a military presence, a military base. All right? He got the top military on the planet Earth. Okay? That's a fact. The United States. England is the money. England is the money, and Rome is the religious factor of the whole beast system. But I don't see how you people out there gonna sit here and try to make the little Ishmaelites, the Arabs, that has a U.S. embassy with the bald eagle in Saudi Arabia, with the United States in their country, with their embassies in their country. That's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? When you read Genesis, the 36th chapter, it goes into the dukes. Okay? The only people that's recognized as dukes is the so-called European white man. Okay? You know what I'm saying? When you read the book of Maccabees, it shows you that Jonathan, you know what I'm saying, was anointed a duke by who? The Greeks. The Greeks and the Romans, the Europeans that was ruling during that time.
Right.
What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So that's mentioned in the second Maccabees, going into that. You know what I'm saying? Where Jonathan, a Levite, was appointed a duke by who was ruling during that time? European white people. I don't get it, man. I'm saying, like, it's crazy. Like, this is elementary. Esau, who's Esau? If we know who Jacob is, there's no mystery of who Esau is. These people make Esau everybody. Japheth, Esau is the Ishmael. Esau is the man from the planet Pluto or whatever. It's like, this is crazy, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna know who our brother is. That's confusion to know who our brother is. All through the scriptures, it tell you that Esau held his hatred towards us perpetually in Amos, the 1st chapter. You see what I'm saying? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Ishmaelites shooting us down in the streets in the New York City and around in America. I don't see the Arabs shooting Negroes down, killing you, locking you up in prison, right? Calling you niggas and this, that, and the third. I don't see the Japhites or none of these people you talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? You people crazy. You just want to love the white man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The scripture says be at peace with all men, but you don't want the white man to be who he is. You know what I'm saying? And Job 9:24, basic fundamental, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. If you know what I'm saying, he covered the face of the judges thereof. Who's the judges? The Most High Yahweh, Mashiach, Yahushua, and the Israelites. We got a book called the Book of Judges, right? If not, who and where he is. That's a sarcastic statement. You see what I'm saying? Like, stop it, man. Just stop it, man. Okay? Esau is a white man, point blank, period. For all you want to, Captain Save a Edomite, the so-called white man. Stop the
That's
madness.
right.
This is ridiculous for people to be sitting over here trying to make Esau whoever they want him to be. Because you really want to love everybody. That's all to it. You see what I'm saying? And if Esau is not the white man, just say he not. Right? Revelation 13:9, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So there goes the white man.
Right. Right. Not only that, if the white man is not Esau, then that means that the children of Israel have another captivity that they're going to have to go through before Christ returns.
Right.
How many of you Negroes ready to go for another captivity?
Another captivity. You are not us.
Right.
Another captivity. That right. They say, hey, Jeremiah 2:12 said, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? His captivity.
Hey, Hey, I was just not getting that Jeremiah 2:14.
Yeah.
You ain't no lie. I got it right here, right now. And
Yeah,
you saying niggas ready for another captivity? Boy, they love slavery.
right. They love slavery. Yeah, 214.
Hey,
I said 212, 214. They love slavery, man. Great, good.
hey, YirmeYah, can I bring out that let me bring out that it's all right, Doc. I know you building, man.
Yeah, no, bring it out.
This recently one of my favorite joints, Esther 10:3. And I know people got their reasons. We're gonna have servants in the kingdom and this and that. So, plenty of verses I know, but this is one of my favorites, most recent.
Hey, hold up, Ears, before you bring that out. Hey, Mahal, can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah, I see you.
Hey, you see my new shirt, bro? Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Only put my glasses on, brother.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Somebody's face, man. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
That's right. Hey.
Yo, I like saying that too, brother.
Yeah. Yo, man, shout out to Zabak, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zabak, man. Shout out to Pro Rizzo, man. Them brothers use that all the time, man. All praise and glory.
Yeah,
I like that. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This it. Nah, this is Mordecai. Now, for all you brothers who feel like you don't need to support the land, and I know I was listening to, matter of fact, just to bring up yesterday, I was listening to my brother YirmeYah talk to somebody, and they was bragging about how good they got it with they about to hire 11 new employees, and it's our fault, and I ain't, hey, all that. I'm gonna say this: if you got some money in your ears right here, charge them that be rich in this world that they be not high-minded.
Yeah.
That's what the book say. But anyway, for all y'all who get rich and say, we on the hood, this and that, hey, this for the land right here. Esther 10:3. For Mordecai the Jew was next unto Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews. Amongst the who? Amongst the Jews.
Amongst the Jews.
Amongst the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of the Gentiles. Right. That ain't what it say, That ain't what it say. He wasn't worried about being accepted amongst the multitude of the Gentiles. Matter of fact, it ain't even Gentiles. It's really Gentiles. What's tiles? Tiles is stuff you walk over on your kitchen floor. Gentiles.
Right.
He say, look, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, his own kinfolk like to him. That must mean he wasn't brown nosing, y'all. Seeking the wealth of his people and speaking peace to all his seed. You see that? You weren't worried about all these other folks, G. Now, this was the man who was second in command of the world. And he still wasn't worried about the Gentiles. Now, we know he was working under this king, so he did what was due unto the services due unto the Gentiles. But it say his primary objective right here, he was seeking the wealth of his people and speaking peace to all his seed.
Right. Making the nation of Israel attractive to all nations. Right. So I want everybody to hold up 1 second. This is an example of the primary problem and the main reason why I decided to do this presentation tonight. Watch this.
Here we go with the blackity black. You guys, y'all, I ain't gonna front, man. Y'all be making me sick with that, man. That's a dumb argument, yeah.
Hey, you know what, YirmeYah, G? Yeah. Somebody gotta be the reasonable guy. Okay, so is this brother Eric Quarles? What's up, Bob? You're in the audience, and it sounds like you got something to say. If it's cool with YirmeYah, this his show. If it's cool with YirmeYah. You want to try to get this brother on stage for a few minutes just to hear what he got, bro? Is it okay, YirmeYah?
I mean, if he got the testicular fortitude to come on here.
Hey, Eric, man, I believe this, bring forth your strong reasoning. And, we bring it out tonight, So if you got strong reasoning, please bring it out. Put out a way we can contact you and get you on stage. And we definitely want to hear that strong reasoning, But for all those who think that we just so wrong for laughing at people when they say stuff, I know they say, hey, YirmeYah, you wrong. You laughing at the people. Right? That's what they tell YirmeYah. They ever told you that?
Right. Bring it out,
They tell me, oh, I can't laugh at the people, right? Let's look at a few precepts. This is Daniel, or Salaki. This is Daniel we're dealing with. This is the history of Baal and the dragon. Verse 7. Then Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived. He smiled at him first. O king, be not deceived. King telling Daniel something about a false god, something goofy. Now, Daniel is the wisest man in the world at this point. He's the advisor to the king of the world, so he's the primary advisor. So who's the wisest man in the world? That's Daniel.
Right.
He said, O king, be not deceived, for this is but clay within and brass without, and never did never eat or drink anything. He told the king. Now he's correcting the king, and he's smiling at him, right? Well, the king, if you read the whole story, it happens again, and the king is a little more pushy, right? So Daniel's turn up. He ain't just smile. By the time we get to verse 19, it say this. Then then laughed Daniel. There it go right there. It's the wisest man in the world laughing at a king. You niggas ain't no king, guy.
Right.
You come up here saying something crazy.
Hold on. Is you got to read that clearly again. Read it nice and clear so everybody gonna get this, man. Read it again.
History of Baal and the dragon. Then laughed Daniel. He laughed at this nigga.
Hold on. You read the verse before that.
All right, let's get some context. I start at 17, going to 19. And the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, yeah, O king, they be whole. 18, verse 18. And as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked up on the table and cried with a loud voice, Great art thou, O Baal, and with thee there is no deceit at all.
So now, hold on, family. So now, was it that Nebuchadnezzar, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So Nebuchadnezzar is
somebody
praying to an idol. He's praying to a statue, and he says, "Oh statue." he says, "Oh statue, there's no deceit in thee." And Daniel is sitting back looking at this Negro like, yo, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Read it again.
It say, as soon as he had, verse 18, as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked up on the table and cried. He cried with a loud voice, Great art thou, O Baal, and with thee is no deceit at all.
Right.
Right. He was super gassed.
Yeah.
Yo, he was tunnel vision. You see what I'm saying? He was straight tunnel vision. All you saw was the table and no food, straight tunnel vision. And then it's like looking at this dude like, yeah, what you smoking?
Right.
Yo, and what the next verse you gonna say? Blew him up.
Check it out. Y'all ready out? Verse 19. This is what, and when you come with these false doctrines, you coming with doctrines of Baal. That's what it is. It ain't if they ain't speaking the law and to the testimony, it's a doctrine of Baal. Let's see how Daniel dealt with a doctrine of Baal. Verse 19. Then laughed Daniel. Y'all hear that? Then laughed Daniel. He laughed at this king and held the king that he should not go in and said, Behold, now the pavement and well marked those Who is flocking? Whose footsteps are these?
So that's no different, family, than you going on somebody's house as an Israelite. You dealing with the truth, you're dealing with the living power, right? And you walk in and they are sitting there worshiping a statue. And you looking at these people like they got two damn heads. Like, yo, what the hell's wrong with you people, man? Don't y'all realize this is a wooden statue, man? This is what Daniel was why he was laughing, because it's ridiculous and absurd to be worshiping a damn wooden statue, man. Right?
That's right.
So I appreciate that, man. So we're gonna get back to this PowerPoint, right?
Can I say one thing, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
The brother Eric Quarrel, or how you pronounce it, Quarrels? He want to quarrel with the panel here.
Right.
It said that your dad, you are Eric Quarrel. You are what your dad is. Esau's dad was black. But in Genesis 25, it said 2 nations are in thy womb.
I was just about to bring that out.
And the term black is not a nationality. The term black is simply a description of a complexion or color. It's not a nationality. Color is not a nationality. Black is not a nationality. Stop it.
Man, they call us black to remind us that we're the slave class. You know, that's the only reason why they call us black. Black is synonymous with slave.
A slave mentality. That's why Jeremiah 14.
Right, Luke.
You know what I'm saying? That's a slave mentality, man. Like, I'm brown skinned. First of all, I'm not black. So I want you to say brown and stop saying damn black. Because we're not black. My skin is brown. Brown. Can you say brown? Say brown.
Right.
Hey, you can't say brown.
Hey, Mahar, check this out, right? And look at this, Luke. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
My question is this to the brother Eric. Is it possible for 2 black parents to have a white child? Is it possible?
Absolutely.
Look at my screen. Damn. What's going on here, Mahal?
2 so-called Negroes got a black and a white baby.
Jacob and Esau.
So-called Jacob and Esau, right there.
Right there.
Like, it's crazy for cats to think that if you go with that narrative, then if Adam was from the dust of the ground, black, right? So-called black, right? Like y'all say, right? And so his grandson Noah would be so-called black, like y'all say, right? So his 3 sons would be so-called black, right? Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So all Ham should be black according to thou. And Shem, Japheth should be black, and Shem should be black. So there shouldn't be no white-looking people. There shouldn't be no Chinese-looking people, Japanese people. There shouldn't be no different type of looking people nowhere. Everybody should have the same type of complexion of hair, skin tone. Everything should be the same. You people are out of your mind if you think the Most High is going to make one type of looking people on the planet Earth, man, when you got all type of flowers. You got all type of flowers. You got all type of trees. You got all type of bees. You got all type of ants. You got all type of dogs. You got all type of fish. You got all type of every damn type of species. What you think is going to be the same looking type of human beings on the planet Earth? Because you Negroes stuck on color like a damn dumbass? That's crazy. That's crazy to me, bro. That's crazy. Nobody in your family, in your direct family, look the same.
No.
Ain't the same complexion. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? My daughter is light-skinned, fair-skinned. I got a son that's light-skinned. Because my daughter's mother is light-skinned. Her mother was so-called white Gada or Native American, whatever. Her father is dark as me. Her father is dark as me, and she lays with me, and my baby comes out light, mad light. I got a son that's light-skinned, so-called light-skinned. What are you talking about, man? You Negroes out of your mind, yeah?
I know 2 sisters. One's dark skinned, one's light skinned. Everybody asks if they got the same parents. They like, yeah.
Right.
We got that, what do they call it, the Eve gene?
Right. And the Most High clearly said he was creating the nation, two nations, two manner of people. What's the problem? What's the problem there? I don't get it.
So we about to go in, man. We about to go in. So look, let's get back to the PowerPoint. Here we go. Right. All right. And like I said, man, anytime you brothers got something y'all want to say, just jump on in, man. Right? So it says what? Who is Amalek? Remember, we're breaking down who Haman is. Who is Haman? Haman was an Agagite. The question is, who is the Agagite?
Uh-oh.
The Agagite is of Agag was the king of the Amalekites. Now the next question is, who are the Amalekites? Read that again.
Uh-oh.
And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
Right.
These were the sons.
Right. These were what?
The sons of Adah, Esau's wife.
Woo! All right. So now we see that Amalek is the grandson of Esau, right? Let's move on here. Let's go back to Haman now, right? So what we're reading is the from the book in the Apocrypha called The Rest of Esther. Esther ends at 10:3. 10:3. This, we are in the rest of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 16, verse 10. Go ahead, Ak.
For Ammon, the Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received us.
So they let you know that Ammon, this Ammon is actually Haman. It's the same person. Ammon and Haman, right? This is that old English coming out. So Esther chapter, the rest of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 16, verse 10. And it lets you and I know that Haman was a Macedonian. Can everybody see that? Read it again. Read it again. Verse 10.
For Ammon, a Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
Right.
Had so far forth obtained the favor that we had that we show toward every nation, as that he was called our father and was continually honored of all men as the next person unto the king. But he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life.
Right. So Ammon was elevated. Can everybody see that?
God.
Haman, which is the same as Ammon, was elevated. Right? Let's read on.
Having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well of Mardosius, who saved our life and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom, with their whole nation. For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
So what did he want to do? Translate the what?
The kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
So Haman, which is Ammon, wanted to translate the kingdom of the Persians to who?
To the Macedonians.
So he wanted to translate them to the Macedonians. Now the next question is, family, who are the Macedonians? Read.
Macedonian. The first book of the Maccabees. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian,
The
who
what?
came out of the land, the Macedonian.
So Alexander the Great was a Macedonian. We already read at the beginning of this presentation, Alexander the Great was what?
Thracian.
Thracian, which were what?
Blondes and red-haired people.
That's right. The so-called white man. So Alexander the Great and Haman, right? Alexander the Great and Haman was a white man. Can everybody see that? Now, this is a biblical proof. Alexander was a white man. Haman was a white man. Haman was a Macedonian. Haman was a Agagite. The Agagites, Agag was the king of the Amalekites. The Amalekites are descended from Esau. Right? Is YirmeYah making this up? Is Brother Lou making this up? Is Maharakah making this up? Is Brother Is making this up? Or are we simply reading?
I mean, for anyone that's in the chat, listen, I was on the fence too. But after this information came out, I can't even refute it. What can I say?
Right. Right. So now what we want to know is, who is Esau? Read.
Who was Esau? Genesis 25 and 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Right. Read.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
See that? 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Can everybody see this? 2 manner of people from 2 black parents shall be separated from thy bowels. Right? Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And one came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Right. Can everybody see this?
It's over.
Right.
You know how they be like, but wait, there's more.
Right. But wait, there's more. Right? So now we're going to get into more scriptures. Read.
Genesis 25 and 30. And Esau
So
said to Jacob,
what we're doing now is we're transitioning from Esau. Hey, listen, we are breaking this down to the simplest form. Why? Because we want you to understand. Hey, give me where Paul says he doesn't speak in big words. You there, Is? You still with us, Is? All right, we're going to get that. Right? Read that out.
and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right. Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me real quick. Hold that. 1 Corinthians 2 and 1.
First Corinthians 2 and 1.
Yeah.
And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God.
Right. Read on.
Okay. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Jesus Christ is and him crucified.
Right, come on.
And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power.
Exactly. So we are breaking this thing down to the simplest form. We want to know who Edom is. Why? Because we need to know who Esau is. So is Esau and Edom the same person? Read it again.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
That's right. So his name was called Edom. Right? Read.
Genesis 36 and 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
Hold up. Read the title.
Where was the land of Edom?
Read.
Genesis 36 and 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
So Esau's land was Mount Seir. Hey, Is, are you back? Oh, yeah, he's back. He in the back chat. Yo, Is, what's going on, brother?
Can you hear me, man? I thought I was here. I was waving at the camera.
I told you could take a break, brother. What's going on?
Hey, brother, I was right here trying to wave at the camera, saying what's up. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking I'm kicking in, hollering out, that's right. You know? All right, so look, this one I had right here. You was asking me for a precept, 2 Corinthians 3:12. It says, seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech. You hear that? Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Great Plain is a speech, and that's all the way back. That's all the way back to the old, man. That's not a new concept. This is Deuteronomy 27:8. And thou shalt write up on the stones all the words of this law very plainly. Make it plain for the people. That's all. That's what you were asking me for, I thought.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we want to do. We want to simplify so you can understand. Now, what's amazing to me, Brother Lou, is you have people in the audience arguing. They're not listening. They are arguing with the information that we're bringing forth without examining. The scripture says what, brother, is? Examine a matter first. Here, both sides.
That's right.
Both sides being judged. But in the comment section, it's a wealth of damn people spewing out what they think they know.
Right. At least hear the information first. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So let's move on here.
Actually, I gotta get going in a little bit, but you know, I'm gonna chop it up with y'all a little bit longer.
No sweat, bro. No sweat. Hey, Iz, are you ready to read?
I'm here.
It's on you. Can you see the screen?
Edom, Slaki, I was on mute. Edom, Edomite, Edom, Hebrew, Edom, Akkadian, Duma, I guess that'd be Idumea,
right,
was an ancient kingdom in Transjordan, located between Moab to the northeast, the Arabian to the west, and the Arabian desert to the south and east. 3. Most of its former territory, Salaki, is now divided between Israel and Jordan. Edom appears in written sources relating to the late Bronze Age and to the Iron Age in the Levant, Salaki, such as the Hebrew Bible and Egyptian and Mesopotamian records. Edom and Idumea are two related but distinct terms which are both related to a historical contiguous population, but two separate, if adjacent, the territories which were occupied by the Edomites / Idumeans
right,
in different periods of their history. The Edomites first established a kingdom, Edom, in the southern area of modern-day Jordan, and later migrated to the southern parts of the kingdom of Judah. Idumea, or modern-day southern Israel, Negev, when that slash right there means or, I was taught. So Israel or Negev. When Judah was first weakened and then destroyed by the Babylonians in the 6th century BC.
So now what we're finding out is location. I can't stand when you Negroes get to talking about location. Right? So now we're getting a look at chronography so we can start to understand the closeness in proximity that we see with what? Arab or Arabia. For you Negroes running around here talking about Esau's the Arab, you don't know a damn thing. Understand this, man. Mount Seir was closely located to Arab or Arabia. It is in the west corner of Arabia. I want to make that clear. So as we can see, a time period, you want to know what time frame are we referencing? 6th century BC, not AD, but BC. Okay? Read on. That's Idumea or Edom. Edom is mentioned.
Edom, can you scroll in some up?
You want me to blow it up some?
Well, I can't hardly see. It's like I just see. All right, it's like Edom is mentioned in the Hebrew. Is you good? You good? You good? Don't worry about that. Edom is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible and is also mentioned in the list of the Egyptian pharaoh Seti from c. 1215 BC, as well as in the Chronicle of a Campaign by Ramses III, 1186 to 1155 BC.
So now we can see that these people actually existed. Not only do we have biblical reference, we also have external biblical references utilizing the Egyptian pharaoh Seti and the chronicles of the campaign of Ramesses III. This is very important that you understand this. Why? Because Edom was a real people.
That's right.
That's right.
So that means that the biblical reference of Edom and the prophecies surrounding Edom are very important. One thing I'm not going to do tonight is go down the same weak-ass rabbit hole that you Negroes are used to dealing with. No, we ain't doing that. This is the source. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a historical, a biblical, and utilize chronography so you and I can understand these people actually existed. Read on.
The Edomites, who have been archaeologically identified, were a Semitic
right.
people who probably arrived in the region around the 14th century BC.
Right.
Archaeological investigation showed that the country flourished between the 13th and 8th century BC and was destroyed after a period of decline in the 6th century BC by the Babylonians. After the loss of the kingdom, the Edomites were pushed westward towards the southern Judah, towards southern Judah. Towards southern Judah by nomadic tribes. Family, hold on. All right, 1 second. By nomadic tribes coming from the east. Among them were the Nabateans, who first appeared in the historical annals of the 4th century BC and already established their own kingdom in what used to be Edom. By the first half of the 2nd century BC, more recent excavations show that the process of the Edomites of the Edomite settlement in the southern parts of the kingdom of Judah and the parts of Negev down to Timnah has started already before the destruction of the kingdom by Nebuchadnezzar II. In 587 BC, both by peaceful penetration and by military means, and taking advantage of the already weakened state of Judah. Once pushed out of their territory, the Edomites settled during the Persian period in an in an area comprising the southern hills of Judah down to the area in North Beersheba, the people appear under a Greek form of their old name as Idumea. As a Greek, the people appear under a Greek form of their old name as Idumeans or Idumeans.
Right, come on.
And their new territory was called Idumea or Idumea. Greek.
That's right.
Idumea, Latin Idomea, a term that was used in the New Testament times.
Right. So guess who
Big facts.
was an Idumean in the New Testament times? You guessed it. Herod.
Right.
Herod
was a Idumean family. So now, why is it a coincidence that the Romans empowered the Idumeans? Is that a coincidence? You're going to find out tonight.
I'm going to get up out of here, though.
All right, appreciate you, Ox, sincerely.
All
Much
right, brother.
love,
All right, let's go, Iz.
Mount Seir. The Hebrew Bible mentions two distinct geographical areas named Seir, a land of Seir and Mount Seir in the south, bordered by the Arabah to the west, and another Mount Seir further north on the north boundary of Judah, mentioned in Ezekiel 35.
That's right.
And the book of Joshua 5 and 10. Southern land of Mount Seir, Mount Seir. Mount Seir was named for Seir the Horite, whose offspring had previously inhabited the area. Genesis 14:6, 36:20. The children of Esau, the Edomites, battled against the Horites and destroyed them. Book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 2 and 4 through 5, 12 and 22. Mount Seir is specifically noted as the place where Esau made his home. Book of Genesis 32 and 3, 33, verse 14 and 16, chapter 36 and 8, Joshua 24 and verse 4.
That's right. So we can clearly see that Mount Seir was a real place, an ancient location, and archaeology, chronography have proven that this was a real place located south of Judea. It is very important that you understand this, right? Let's go.
Hey, ensure you getting these screenshots. And if you're writing them down, write down while we read.
That's right.
How did Edom become Rome? It's a great question. Jasher 90, verse 6 through 9. And Abinadab ordered him to be slain. And Hadad, king of Edom, died in the 48th year of his reign. And the children of Kittim continued their pursuit of Edom, and they smote them with a great slaughter. And Edom became subject to the children of Kittim.
Exactly. So now, as we can see, that there was a war between Kittim and Edom. And these people became one. The question is how? Read.
And the children of Kittim ruled over Edom, and Edom became under the hand of the children of Kittim and became one kingdom. One kingdom.
Right.
One kingdom.
That's right.
From that day. And from that time, they could no more lift up their heads, and their kingdom became one. And their kingdom became one.
That's right.
and their kingdom became one with the children of Kittim.
So now what we can know and see, according to biblical identity, just because people become amalgamated doesn't mean that you lose your biblical identity. Let's prove that in the book of Numbers.
Can I bring some out real fast out?
Yeah.
This is Genesis 34. And I'm going to read around about 16. And I'll just give you a little backdrop because I'm pretty sure most of the people didn't read this. And this is Genesis 34. And this is around the time that Shechem and his peoples was trying to convince our grandparents to go ahead and marry in and integrate with these Gentiles.
Right.
Let's see what kind of mindset they had. Okay. This is Genesis 34:13. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully and said, because he had defiled means to remove a file from its original position. If you defile a secret file, it becomes declassified. What Shechem did was remove the virginity of a daughter of Israel. She lost her class, therefore she was defiled or declassified. She lost her class because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. Genesis 34:14. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were an approach unto us. But in this we will consent unto you. If ye will be as we, that every male of you be circumcised. Listen to what they said. Then we will give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters unto us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people.
Right.
One people. One people. How do you become one people? You do that through intermingling and intermarrying. And that's exactly what happened to the children of Edom, or the kids of Edom, and those, who was it? The Kittim, children of Kittim.
Right.
And they became one kingdom or one people. That's what so we have to reference that back to the Bible because that's an outside text.
Right.
All right, I'm ready to move forward.
Right. So one of those important facts is, one second here. One of those important facts is that brother just brought out so eloquently is that it comprised of marriage. Now, this marriage, it doesn't matter if you marry someone, you are, as the brother said earlier, what your father is. So the Bible doesn't look at people the way people look at people, if you can catch my drift. This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 2. Read this out.
Pull it on up. Numbers chapter 1, verse 2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the numbers of their names, every male by their poles.
Now, I had a Negro tell me, brother, this is talking about war. I don't give a damn what it's talking about, bro. It's letting you know that a people are identified based upon their father's house. Give me the 18th verse.
Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
Now, just because this is about them preparing for war doesn't negate that you are identified by the house of your father. That makes sense, is?
Time.
So now that means that even though Hittim and Edom amalgamated, you don't lose your identity from your father. I want to make that clear. So now we see the development of Rome. Read.
Revelation 17 talking about Rome, Salak.
Yeah, so now Revelation 17 is talking about Rome. Let's read it. Come on, sucker. All right, here we go.
Revelation 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman that sat, Salaki, a woman sit upon sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Oh, 7 heads and 10 horns.
Very important that you pay close attention to 7 heads and 10 horns. But look at this. She sat upon a scarlet colored beast. Now, beast in biblical prophecy is usually talking about man. I want y'all to look at this. Genesis chapter 25. Verse 25. Read this out.
And the first came out, this is the book of Genesis 25, chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
The first came out what color?
Red.
So now we can see that the Bible says in Revelation chapter 17 that this woman rode on the back of a red beast. Esau is red.
Hey, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can we what was that Revelation again?
Revelation chapter 17.
What verse and what verse?
About the red beast.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now on the screen, and it is verse 3.
17 and 3. That's a nice hit, That's a nice hit. Gotta give it to you.
We just piecing this thing together, and we're using what? Honest scholarship. Right? Read on. Read verse 3 again.
So, book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
7 heads and 10 horns. Read on.
And the woman, verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Now, purple and scarlet. Watch this. Watch this. What do you see, brother Is?
Scarlet and purple, red and purple.
Damn. What color is the cup this man is holding?
Which one? Is it gold? I can't hardly see.
At the bottom here. Right here.
Yeah, I can't hardly see it. I'm looking on my phone.
Okay, yeah. It's gold. It's gold.
That's a nice hit out.
It's gold, man. These priests, Roman Catholic priests, have some of the greatest riches on earth. Read that again.
Hey, go back to that link for me if you don't mind.
This
is for the audience and everybody listening. If you want to Google what he Googled, this is Roman Catholic purple and scarlet. That's what he Googled. It's what comes up. So, nobody hiding an eye, Doc. I'm ready. I want everybody to know what you Googled.
Right.
It's very, very wise.
So now let's go back and read that again. Verse 4.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Look at this.
Cup full of filthiness of her fornications. Hey, you know what? I wanted to. It was something I always thought about, and I said this, and it's cool if I bring it out. If you don't dig it, cool.
No, go ahead, bro.
It's this is Revelation 12:3. Check it out. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Right? And you keep seeing that 7 heads, 10 horns throughout the Bible, right?
Right.
And so, and this is fairly new for me, okay? So don't beat me up too bad, all right?
Yeah.
So I keep, I read everything Israel, everything Jerusalem, and everything I always said. Originally, he divided the world up into 70 nations or 70 languages, right?
Uh-huh.
You ever seen that anywhere before?
Can't think off the top of my head.
Okay, well, all this extra text, that's what they do. So I'm gonna search to prove something, so y'all don't beat me up too bad out there, okay? Just telling y'all what I was doing just yesterday, and and so when you take those 7 heads times 10 horns, 7 times 10 is a special number. It comes out to 70. 70.
Uh-huh.
We had 70 elders in Israel, right?
Right.
And see, all right, we're gonna keep going with this study tonight. Let's roll. We're gonna bring that up another time.
All right, no sweat.
All right.
All right, so now let's continue reading. Verse 5. Can you see it out?
Yeah, I got you. And upon her forehead was a name written, Salaki, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Revelation 17:5. Salaki.
That's right.
The mother of harlots. Hey, do we want to bring that out, talking about?
Yeah, listen.
That's interesting. Wow. The Bible.
Talk to us, Doc.
The Bible is very, very specific. So when we say this is Mystery Babylon, right? I always tell the people, what's the mystery? A mystery just means you will miss this story. If you just do some historical research on Babylon, that's Nimrod's kingdom, right? And what it was a place where all the languages and all the people of the world were one. And if you just want to, skip past all the deep research into world history, you just study Nimrod's kingdom. They were all worshiping Nimrod's gods and also worshiping Nimrod as God. And so what happens is the Most High changes the languages, and those people push out all over the world, scatter all over the world, and they carry all those gods into every culture of the world.
Right.
So that's the mother. So now, look, the mother worships several gods or several men. Now, any woman who worships or bows down to several men, right, it's called a harlot. What she is. She's called the harlot all through the text. So he's telling you this is the mother or origin of the harlots. So when those cultures pushed out, and they had multiple gods. That makes you a harlot. That's why Israel always was taught what? We have one God.
Right.
And so that's why she's the mother of harlots, because all her daughter nations who came out of her when the Most High broke the languages up, those are her daughters.
This is why you see so many similarities in religious practices all over the world. So what they want to do is they want to cause confusion, knowing that the God of Nimrod was familiar with the biblical narrative. How do we know that? St. John's 1:1 says what? Watch this.
Book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
So when did this word or this Bible exist, brother Is?
In the beginning.
So it was always known about the Father, the mother, and the child. So when you get certain religious practices and you see people saying that Christianity came out of Egypt or it came out from the practices of Egypt. No, Egypt followed the practices of Nimrod. They followed the Babylonian mystery religion. That's what they followed. Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. That translated in Egypt as Horus, Osiris, and Isis. That translated over into India into Krishna and over into other multiple religions all over the world. They're following the religions of ancient Babylon.
And just to add one quick reference, one quick source, because this is the source. This is Josephus, book 1, chapter 2, verse 166. And if you just jump in there, it's going to tell you around about verse 167. It's going to tell you that Abraham, communicated to them arithmetic and delivered to them the science of astronomy. For before Abraham came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning. For that science came from the Chaldeans into Egypt, and from thence to the Greeks also. So even the Egyptians, they got it from our people.
Right.
So let's cut all that. We got something from them out, by the way.
Right. Powerful point. So as now we go back to transitioning back into the book of Revelation, we notice who are holding the practices of purple and scarlet, who are holding the practices of the mystery school religion, who are dealing with mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. Why is she the mother? Because there are many offsprings of Babylonian religious practices.
That's right.
Which the Most High was upset with, and why he scattered the tongue at the Tower of Babel. Verse 6, read on out.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Hold up now. Who was killing the saints during the time of the Roman occupation in Jerusalem? Who empowered the false Sanhedrin? Who were executing death penalties in Jerusalem? Was it the Jews?
Bring it out, Op.
Or was it the Romans?
Bring it out.
So who killed Paul? Who killed Peter? It was the Romans. And so the Bible says in verse 6, I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints. Who are the saints? Are the saints everybody? Are the saints the women in the front of your church with the big hats?
Saints of Israel.
The children of Israel. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And when I saw her, I wondered with great
admiration.
Verse 7, go ahead, Op.
And the angel said unto me, wherefore did thou marvel? Big facts. I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns. 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right. Come on.
And the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition.
Now, this is powerful. Remember, beast is a representation of people or nations. The beast that thou sawest was and is not and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. This is very important because there are a multitude of Christian pastors all across the United States totally butchering this biblical prophecy. They don't know their foot from their hand, trying to understand what Revelations is talking about. But the Most High God hath poured out the Spirit on the children of Israel to bring forth the proper understanding of Revelation. The beast that was and shall and is not shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and shall go into perdition. What does perdition mean? Watch this. What does perdition mean? Read that out. Salakia, let me get the Greek first before you read.
Strong's G 684. Apoleia. Apoleia.
Apoleia. So now, what does this mean? Go ahead, Op.
Perdition. It says the KJV translates Strong's G684 in the following manner: perdition 8 times, destruction 5 times, waste 2 times, damnable 1 time, to die with G1519 1 time, perish with G1498 with G1519 1 time, pernicious 1 time.
So now we see what? Destroying, utter destruction, a vessel, right?
Of vessels, Salaki, of a perishing, ruin, destruction of money, the destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell.
Right. So now we can see. The question is, when did Rome go into perdition? That's a very important question. Watch this. Let's see if this place is Rome. Read. Perdition, and they that dwell.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Sounds like predestination right there, don't it? Those that were written in the book of life from the foundations of the earth. But the thing is, family, is who is of the world when they beheld the beast, nation or people, that was and is not and yet is. That means a people that fell, and then a people that rose again. When did that happen in history? Read on.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google Rome 7 hills. Read that out. You need me to blow it up? I can.
You good. Rome 7 hill. Archaeology suggests that Rome began as a confederation of the villages on the 7 hills of Rome.
Of what?
7 hills of Rome. The Capitoline, Palatine, Aventine, let me see that one. Viminal, Quirinal, Esquiline, and the Caelian.
Right.
The low-lying ground between them was swampy and malarial. Yet the presence of a natural fording place gave Rome some unusual advantages.
See that? So this is Rome. We go to the images. It says what here?
Again, make sure you screenshotting this, bro, going along.
That's right. As we see here, it says what? The 7 hills of Rome. Now we're going to go back and we're going to read that again. Verse 9.
And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth.
All right. So what we want to do now is we want to go back up and we want to answer a question. When did Rome go into perdition? When did Rome go into perdition? Meaning what? Destruction, destroyed, wasted. When did this happen to them? I'm going to go into my Facebook because I gave this lesson privately a few days ago. So I want you all to bear with me. What is this book, brother, is?
The Roman Empire. From, I can't hardly see it, Severus to Constantine.
From Septimius, Salakia, from Severius to Constantine by Pat Sutherland. Right? Now, in this book, it teaches us something very interesting. The Roman Empire from 193 to 197 fell at the hands of Severius. Let's see here. I don't know if you can read that, bro, but I need you to read that.
No, I can't help you out.
Okay.
Can you blow it up?
I will try.
Hopefully it clear out.
Maybe, can you, hold on, let me see if I can. Nope. That's big as it can get. Let me see.
Yeah, I got some decent eyes, but I can't.
No
see
worries.
that well.
No worries. Let me do this. Let me do this. Right? All right, family, bear with us. I got to be able to bring this out. All right, it's moving kind of slow. Let me get this. Hey, is there any way you can go? Hold up. 1 second here. I want you all to see this because what we're doing is we want to know, did the Roman Empire ever fall? All right, here we go. Forgive me, family. My computer's moving kind of slow. Come on, sucker. All right. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here and blow it up. All right. I can read it because I have the book, but I want you all to be able to see this now.
Just read it out. I could just throw him the page number.
All right. Uh-oh. We might got something here. All right. Let me get it. All right. So this thing don't want to act right. So we are at page. We're actually at page 1. And it says what? The 3rd century opened and closed with an embrace of strong virtue. Emperors victorious in emperor victorious in civil war. Each of whom survived long encounters. Okay. See here. Come on, sucker. Go and act right. Act right. Long encounters to consolidate his power. The state of Septimius Severus defeat his last rival, embarked on sole rule in 197. Diocletius' turn came nearly 100 years after Severus in 284. Both made a determining effort to secure the success of each of his own way, and not entirely successful in the long term, but both developed an autocratical system of government, and both relied upon a fabricated dynasty and of the emperor's household to postulate of up their regime, both strengthening their fortresses and buildings or rebuilt fortifications. Finally, both regimes, the armies of their own intimate needs and those of the state. Constantine took the work of his predecessors to its conclusion, creating a secure dynasty, a secure dynastic regime. But the change that crystallized had already began under Diocletian. So what we see here is when Rome fell in 197, Diocletian's term came in 284. Diocletian, to the time of Constantine, was called a dynasty. Why? Because these were the same people that were ruling. And when you go into who Septimius Severus was, you're going to find out that Septimius Severus was not a Roman, but in fact, he came from somewhere. And we're going to read about it right now. It says here, this is starting in a section on page 44 in the book, The Roman Empire, from Severus to Constantine. I will be showing you all this. Let me turn this camera on here. I'm reading from this book because I have the book. Okay? This is Septimius. This is the Roman Empire from Severus to Constantine. And this is what it says about Severus. After the celebrations were over, and after a short stay in Rome, Severus and his whole family, including the prefects, embarked on a voyage to where? Africa, the emperor's homeland. Let me see if y'all can see this, man, because you got to see this. Right? This is the emperor's homeland. I don't know if y'all can see this here. Right? There you go. So it says Africa, right? Right there. Africa was the emperor's homeland. Right? So this particular dynasty that rose up were not of a Roman dynasty in the fact that these people or these men were not Roman. They were African. That means that Constantine was black. Whether you like it, love it, understand it, agree with it or not, we don't give a damn if you agree. According to the text, Septimius Severus' homeland was Africa. General Niger, Septimius Severus, rose into power. They were two Roman generals. They rose into power and they started warring against each other to fight for sole rule, and Septimius Severus became the sole ruler. 130 years later, another man rose up by the name of Diocletian. Diocletian continued on the campaign that was started by Septimius Severus, creating a dynasty that came to its fullness by the time of Constantine. Now, what's important is if you do your research on the Byzantine Empire, you'll find out that that empire was black. Okay? So, anytime you're dealing with a dynasty, that is a succession of a continued either race or ideology. Septimius Severus, Diocletian, Constantine created a dynasty. Now, to give you a layman's example, Magic Johnson and Kareem had a dynasty. Their dynasty was different from Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal's dynasty. Two different dynasties. Only because these people were following the same ideology and the same racial identity could they be called or classified as a dynasty. Now, to quantify that is, give me Exodus chapter 1 and start at the 5th verse. Exodus chapter 1, start at verse 5.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Right.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
Right, come on.
And there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
A new king, a new dynasty, a different set of people. You see? It tells us in the book, Septimius Severus, Diocletius, and Constantine had a dynasty. Very important that you understand this. That dynasty, go ahead.
Go ahead. This should be the 15th dynasty, according to historical and chronological context of the Bible by Bruce W. Gore. You bring it out?
Yeah, bring it out.
This is the 15th dynasty, 1720 to 1555 BC. Sometime in the late 18th century, a series of kings was beginning to exercise control in the eastern desert of the Delta regions. These rulers, comprising of the 15th dynasty, were known as the Hyksos, or desert princes. Same thing is going to tell you on JewishEncyclopedia.com. The names of the Hyksos kings imply that they were of Semitic origin. That's probably why it tells us a Syrian went down there and oppressed us.
Right.
Semitic origin. But there is no known Hyksos race of people. They were also sometimes known as the Shepherd Kings. While Manetho paints a picture of a great invasion in the desert, Islaki and a desperate horde of the Semitic immigrants had actually been peacefully entering Egypt for some time, and thus the invasion was more of a gradual infiltration from the east, which culminated the Hyksos control over Lower Egypt and the Delta. And that's it. That's where I'm going to stop at.
God, all praises. Yeah, so my point is that this was a dynasty. They were continuing on in ideology and racial ethnicity. So this was the downfall of Rome during the time of Septimius Severus, which makes the Romans...
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby! Baby, want a bottle?
Right. Okay? You are a loser. And you are going into perdition. Now the Bible is unfolding, brother, we can start to see and have a better understanding of what took place. So Constantine finished the mission that was started by Severus and pushing the aristocrats, the high-ranking members of society in Rome, into the outskirts of Europe, creating something called Constantine's Wall. Right? I'm going to look this up right now. Right? All right, so I want you to read this for us real quick. Do you see my screen?
Not yet, Doc. There we go. Constantine. Constantine the Great. Wikipedia. Constantine. 27. Are you reading the link?
Yeah, I was gonna go in, but it didn't give me what I wanted to get. I'm looking for 1 second here.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Constantine's Wall.
Wow, that's it. That's all they're gonna give us. What's going on here?
I don't know, man. You know the system.
All right, no worries.
This
is what I wanted you to focus on. That it's in modern day Turkey. And let's go back. Constantine's Wall, Wikipedia. Let's see what comes up here. Same thing. Okay, hold up.
They don't want you bringing it out.
Yeah, they hating on me right now, bro. All right. Byzantine legacy, the Wall of Constantinople. Let's see here. All right. So we have the Wall of Constantinople. Let's read this. Bring that up.
Emperor Constantine built walls to protect the city, but new housing developments outside them and the growing threat of the Goths and the Huns made them obsolete. In 1413, Eastern Rome Emperor Theodosius II decided to build new walls not only on land but also on the seafront. This section deals with these imposing fortifications. Another section deals with the main monuments of the city. And the third one, Galata, the Genoese colony on the Golden Horn opposite of Constantinople. Initially, the walls were made up of one line, but soon Theodosius strengthened the land walls by adding a second line and a moat. Both the inner and the outer wall were protected by towers placed at a distance of 170 feet apart from 170 feet from each other.
All right. That's all I want on that. So now, this wall, right, was created by Constantine. and it was surrounding Constantinople, which ended up becoming his capital. So what we do now is we have to transition into what happened to the Romans. Man, the book is losing its thunder. What happened to the Romans after they got pushed into the Caucasus Mountains? What happened? All right. So we're going to read a source from, hey, Maharakar, you still there? Maharakar. All right, 1 second, family. We're going to get the final source. We're winding down. Now you're able to see. Now you are able to see. Right? Hey, Ian, say something real quick.
Yeah, man, it's just been a great bill, man. And I'm sure appreciating the information. And sure that you, if you're on YouTube, ensure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the comments, especially the ones that add to the bill. Definitely appreciate those. We all think we know it all, but we really don't. So if you got something that add to the bill, you might bring something else out from another perspective that just completed for somebody else. This is about educating our people, Like I read earlier, man, seeking the wealth of his people and his seed. It's a 10 and 3. So yeah, it's been a great bill so far. I really been appreciating the information. And I'm pretty sure if you got any controversies or contention with the information being brought out, I think YirmeYah, I think you're up for a challenge. So bring your sources with you. So we can hear your strong reason.
All right, let me know if I send you something in a text, are you able to stay on and look at that text?
Go ahead, Doc.
All right, let me see here. All right, so this is very important. Now we're going to go into Arthur Koshlosh, the 13th tribe. Right? All right, here we go.
Hey, did you send it?
Yeah, it's coming right now.
All right.
All right, so we're going to go into the 13th tribe because people always try to say, well, the white man is he's Japheth. He's Japhetic, Ak. The white man is Japhetic. All right? So we're going to see what history has to say concerning that point. Right? So it says here, let's get it. Come on, sucker, where you at? All right, here we go. All right, so this is the 13th tribe. All right, tell me if you got it.
It hasn't come through yet. Can you send it through Messenger?
Yeah, I can send it through Messenger.
Yeah, because I just got this phone tonight, man, and I have not. Yeah, it's a brand new phone. I ain't got everything switched over yet, so I don't know exactly what's going on now.
No problem. Tell me if you got it.
No, let me see. Oh yeah. Page is this Black Khazars?
Yes.
13th tribe. This is page 22, I think. All right. Here we start at.
Start at the right under the 4.
Some Persian and Arab chronicles provide an attractive combination of legend and gossip column. They may.
All right, look like we lost Is. He'll be right back, family. So we appreciate the love and support, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe, man. We're trying to get this information out to our people. There's a lot of confusion concerning who Esau is. This is not to condemn. This is not to say X, Y, and Z about the white man and whether or not he can make it into the kingdom. That's not what we're talking about. What we're doing is we're rightly dividing history. You and I cannot escape from our history. At the end of the day, you and I want to know, why did we go into slavery? Why was our ancestors slaves? This is something that you and I have to deal with every day. So guess what? The so-called white man have a history that he has to deal with. And we're going to bring it out. This ain't about hating on anyone. This is not hate speech at all. This is history and rightly dividing the word of truth. That's what we're doing. So right now we're reading a book called Arthur Koestler's The 13th Tribe. And I'm going to pick up where he left off. And it says here, some Persian and Arab chronicles provide an attractive combination of legend and gossip columns. They may start with the creation and end with stop press. Thus, in the 9th century, Arab historian traces the origins of the Khazarians back to Japheth. And the third son of Noah, Salakia, back to Japheth, the third son of Noah. The Japheth movement frequently in literature, while other legends connect them with Abraham and Alexander the Great. Remember, this lesson began with us addressing Alexander the Great and Abraham. Abraham and Alexander is directly connected to.
Can you hear me out?
Abraham. Yes, sir.
What? Dang, my bad. I ain't even know I went out. I was steady reading. Where's where I stop at, man?
Just start over, huh?
All right. Here we go again. I read the whole walk. All right, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Some Persian and Arab chronicles provide an attractive combination of legend and gossip column. They may start with the creation and end with the stop press tidbits. Thus, Yaqubi, a 9th century Arab historian, traces the origin of the Khazars back to Japheth, the third son of Noah. Salaki, third son of Noah. The Japheth motive recurs frequently in literature, while other legends connect them with Abraham or Alexander the Great.
Now, what I was right here is that this is actually exactly correct. It connects these Khazarians to Abraham and Alexander the Great. This is actually exactly right, because as we started off, we showed that Alexander the Great is a Macedonian. The Macedonians are of Agag. Agag is of Amalek. Amalek is the son of Esau. Esau is the grandson of Abraham. Makes sense, don't it? You there, Is?
What's up again? Can you hear me out?
I can hear you now.
All right, here we go. I'm listening. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it makes sense. Bring it out, Doc.
yeah. Go ahead, one of the earliest.
Let me switch it out. One of the earliest factual references to the Khazar occurs in a Syriac chronicle by Zachariah Redar, dating from the middle of the 6th century. It mentions the Khazar in the list of people who inhabit the region of the Caucasus. Other sources indicate that they were already much in evidence a century earlier and intimately connected with the Huns. So in AD 448, the Byzantine Emperor Theodosius II sent an enmity to Attila, which included a famed rhetorician by the name of Priscus. He kept a minute account.
You there, Ak? You breaking up.
Can you hear me out?
I can hear you now.
Okay. And going on, in Attila's sumptuous banqueting hall, he was in fact the perfect gospel columnist and is still one of the main sources of information about Hun customs and habits. But Priscus also has anecdotes to tell about a people subject to the Huns.
Hold up. So it's very important that everybody understands this. Now, when I brought this out, a brother tried to tell me, well, you have to know what it means when it says black and when it says white. We know that the white in America is equated with good, wholesome, and comeliness, right? And then black is connected with evil, wicked, and dirtiness, right? But yet what we're about to read is the exact opposite. The second-class citizens will be called white. And the original Khazarians will be called black. Watch this. Read. We can't hear you, Out.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm switching back and forth between the apps, and I think that's what's messing it up.
Right.
But Priscus also has anecdotes to tell about a people subject to whom he calls the Akazirs. That is very likely the Akazars or white Khazarians, distinct from the black Khazarians, the Byzantine Empire. Priscus tried to win.
See, now, did you see that? Am I making this up, or did we just read that the second-class citizens was the Khazars, and they were called what color?
The white Khazars.
They were the second-class citizens, distinct from the black Khazars. Read it. I'll read it again.
But Priscus also anecdotes to tell him about a people subject to the.
Man, you're breaking up again. Come on back.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now. Read it again.
All right, hold on. Let me switch back. But Priscus also anecdotes to tell about a people subject to the Huns, whom he calls Akazirs. That is very likely the Khazars or white Khazars.
Right.
As distinct from the black Khazars or Kara Khazars. The Kara Khazars.
See that? So the white Khazars was subject. You see that? That's very important. That's very important. because they try to tell you and I in the clubhouse that, oh, well, you need to tell the people what white and black mean. Man, listen, these are people being described. We know what white means. We know what black means. Okay? So I want you to read on. Come on back. We can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now.
All right, let me see where we stopped at. Okay. This warrior race, what was the last thing we read so we could tie it in? The Byzantine Emperor Priscus tells us, tried to win this warrior race over to his side, but the greedy Khazar chieftain named Karidak considered the bribe offered to him inadequate and sided with the Huns. Attila defeated Karidak's rival chieftains, installed him as the sole ruler of the Akazirs, and invited him to visit his court.
So what just happened is, come on back so we don't lose you. What just happened is that Attila the Hun just empowered the Romans. The Romans were the second-class citizens, or Khazars, that were the white Khazars, that were the second-class citizens. And they were known as a warrior class. These people now were empowered, taking down the black Khazars, the original Khazarians, and becoming Khazarians themselves. This was 300 years before the conversion. We're about to get this. Read the next photo that I sent you.
That's it for that one?
No, finish that one. I believe you at the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, finish that. Down to the blue.
It says, he invited him to visit his court. Karidak thanked him profusely for the invitation and went on to say that it would be too hard on a mortal man to look in the face of a god. For as one cannot stare into the sun's disk, even less could one look into the face of the greatest God without suffering injury. Attila must have been pleased, for he confirmed Karidak in his rule. Priscus's chronicle confirms that the Khazars appeared on the European scene about the middle of the 5th century as a people under Hunnish sovereignty.
See that? Go ahead. Come on back. You dropped off. All right, come on back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Priscus Chronicle confirms that the Khazars appear on the European scene about the middle of the 5th century as a people under Hunnish sovereignty and may be regarded together with the Magyars and other tribes as a later offering of Attila's horde. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
The collapse of the Hun. You want me to keep going right here, or you want me to move over somewhere else?
No, bring it out, man. All that blue, man. Go get
all right. The collapse of the Hun Empire after Attila's death left a power vacuum in Eastern Europe, through which once more wave after wave of nomadic hordes swept from east to west. Prominent among the Uyghurs and Avars, the Khazars during most of this period seem to be happily occupied with raiding the Transcaucasian region
We lost you again. We lost
Can you hear
you.
me out?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
The Khazars during most of this period seem to be happily occupied, raiding the rich Transcaucasian regions of Georgia, Armenia, and collecting precious plunder.
All right, stop. So now, come on back so we don't lose you. So now we see that the Khazarians was pleased with raiding the Caucasus region. What do white people call themselves, brother is?
Caucasian.
Caucasian. Why do they call themselves Caucasian? Because they come from the Caucasus Mountains.
That's
See?
right.
And that right there is what you call, right? That right there is what you call.
Oh my goodness gracious, it is over. Did I call it, Daniel? It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
See that?
That's right.
So now we see that these Khazarians was left to themselves after the fall and the death of Attila. Right? Read on.
Let me get back over there. It says, collecting precious plunder. During the second half of the century, they became a dominant force among the tribes of the north of the Caucasus. A number of these tribes, the Sabirs, the Saragurs, Samandars, Balangars, etc., are from this day onward no longer mentioned by the name in the sources. They had been subdued or absorbed by the Khazars. The toughest resistance apparently was offered by the Bulgars. But they too were crushingly defeated, circa 641. And as a result, the nation split in two. Some of them migrated westward toward the Danube in the region of the Slovakia of modern Bulgaria, others northeastward.
We lost you. Come on back.
It's back in there?
Yeah, you're back. Northeastward to the middle Volga. So now it's very important that you all pay close attention to the Bulgars. The Bulgars are the Khazarians. Did we see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're going to do now is we're going to find out what happened. You're going to have to go. I'm not going to read all this to you, Negroes, okay? But you're going to find out that these Bulgars and the Khazarians were being pressured on both sides. They were being pressured by the Christians and they were being pressured by the Muslims. So what they did was they held a conference and they called in Muslims, Christians, and Jewish people, Judaism. Jewish, Christian, and Muslims, they called them in for a conference. I want you to read the next page, which begins with, this book traces the history of the ancient Khazarians.
This book traces the history of the ancient Khazar Empire, a major but almost forgotten power in Eastern Europe, which in the Dark Ages became converted to Judaism. Khazaria was finally wiped out by the forces of Genghis Khan, but evidence indicates the Khazars themselves migrated to Poland and formed the cradle of Western Jewry, the fake Jewry, to the Jewry of the Khazars, who flourished from the 7th to the 11th century, may seem infinitely remote today. Yet there have yet they have a close and unexpected bearing on our world, which emerges as Mr. Collister recounts the fascinating history of the ancient Khazar Empire.
All right, stop. I want you to go back up and start at Genghis Khan and read that again. Dropped out. All right, come on back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
1 second, let me get back over there. Khazari was finally wiped out by the forces of Genghis Khan, but evidence indicates the Khazars themselves migrated to Poland and formed the cradle of Western Jewry.
So now it's very important that everybody understands this. The Khazarians were wiped out by Genghis Khan, and they migrated themselves to where?
To Poland.
They migrated to Poland. Now I'm about to share a video. All right? I'm about to share a video.
Bring it out, Art.
All right, 1 second here.
Yeah, again, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. If you got your strong reasoning, bring it on out. You know, I want to hear all cases.
All right, so first thing I want to do is I want to show you all this woman and who she is. I'm only going to play 2 minutes of this video so y'all can get an understanding of who this woman is. And she's going to say something very powerful in conjunction to what we just read. Meet the First Lady of the American Post.
It's dawn in the heart of the most powerful nation on earth. In a Washington coffee shop, one of the world's most respected journalists is already at her usual corner table, armed with a black coffee, the Washington Post, and the New York Times. Today's feature article is about American soldiers killed in Iraq.
I don't know how anybody can read it and not feel so sad.
Then it's off to her desk at the White House, which is a short stroll away.
Great to see my morning friend.
Right, great to see you.
So how many times do you reckon you walked out here into the White House?
150 million times. I don't know. Ever since January 1961.
1961.
That's how long I've been.
Helen Thomas has reported on every president since John F. Kennedy. Over that time, almost 5 decades, she's come to be known as the First Lady of the Press.
So now I wanted to share that so you can understand who this woman is, right? You where me is?
What you are?
All right, check this out. Now listen to what she says.
comments on Israel? We're arresting everybody today. Any comments?
Tell them to get the hell out of Palestine.
Ooh.
Any better comments? Remember, these people are occupied, and it's their land. It's not German, it's not Poland.
So where should they go? Where should they go?
They go home.
Where's the home?
Poland.
So the
Germany.
So now, brother I want you to read what you just had read for the people.
It says, Khazari was finally wiped out by the forces of Genghis Khan, but evidence indicates the Khazars themselves migrated to Poland.
Where?
To Poland.
Oh my goodness gracious, it is over. Did I call it, Daniel? It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
It's over. It's over. In this book, Arthur Koestler's The 13th Tribe, and another source that we're going to get out of here from who Arthur Koestler pulled from, who don't nobody want to never talk about. It says in his book that the Khazarians became the Bulgars, and the Bulgars converted into Judaism. And when they converted into Judaism after being destroyed by Genghis Khan, migrated where? To Poland. Poland.
Bring it out, huh?
And so when they went to Poland in 1948, because I had an argument with my brother, G. Khan, about the prophecy of 1948, which is nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere. They brought people into Israel from Poland. These are the fake converted Jews from the mouth of Arthur Koestler. Don't get mad at me. I'm doing my research. They migrated from Poland. And as you heard from the first lady of American journalism, she says, told those Jews to get out of Jerusalem and go back home to Poland.
Hey, quick question. That video, it was from this millennium, right?
Yes, 2007.
It wasn't from Old Testament times? I mean, because people say genealogy don't matter no more, and we don't matter no more, and that's all done away.
Right.
So here we is, 2020, and people on this side, since the crossover, still thinking about the genealogy, saying they need to get up out of there. Ain't that amazing?
Ain't that amazing? Ain't that amazing?
So much, I guess they just need to get out of that spiritually.
Hey.
Spiritual Israel. Try to tell them.
So now what we're going to do now is we're going to read about the true history of the filth and debauchery of these people. Remember I told you all to remember Bulgar? The Bulgars are the Khazarians. Before we get that, I want you to give me a Bible scripture, brother, if you don't mind. The book in Hebrews, chapter. Actually, let me get it. I want.
What is talking about? You hear what is up?
Yeah. Give me
Man, this some great teaching you bringing out, Doc.
Man, all praise and glory, man, to the Most High, man. I'm looking for the any fornicator as Esau.
Any fornicator as Esau?
Yeah. One second, family.
Hebrews 12:16. Doc.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, bring it out. The water, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's it.
Let's say, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for a morsel of meat sold his birthright.
That's right. So now let's go to the pornification and the fornication of Esau. Let's see. Read that next picture I sent you out. It should be page 38, and it should say sick at the top.
Yeah. I'm gonna start right here. They are nomads. They have houses of felt. They stay for a while in one place, then move on. One can see their tents dispersed here and there, all over the place according to nomadic customs. Although they lead a hard life, they behave like donkeys that have lost their way. They have no religion which would link them to God, nor are they guided by reason. They do not worship anything. Instead, they call their herdsmen, they call their headmen lords. When one of them consults with his chieftain, when one of them consults his chieftain,
You dropped out. Come on back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let me get back in there. They call their headmen lords. You heard that part?
Sir, yes, sir.
When one of them consults his chieftain, he asks, "Oh Lord, what shall I do in this or that matter?" The course of action they adopt is decided by taking counsel among themselves. But when they have decided on a measure and are ready to carry it through, even the humblest and lowliest among them can come and disrupt that decision. The sexual mores of the Gus and other tribes were a remarkable mixture of liberalism and savagery. Their women wear no veils in the presence of their men or strangers, nor do the women cover any parts of their bodies in the presence.
Come on back.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, where was I at?
Their women wore no veils in the presence of their men.
Okay, their women wore no veils in the presence of their men, or strangers, nor do the women cover any parts of their bodies in the presence of the people. One day we stayed at the place of Gus and were sitting around, his wife also present. As we conversed, the women uncovered their private parts and scratched them. Ugh. And we all saw it. Thereupon we covered our faces and said, "May God forgive me." The husband laughed and said to the interpreter, Tell them we uncover it in your presence so that you may see and restrain yourselves, but it cannot be attained. This is better than when it is covered up and yet unattainable. Adultery is alien to them, yet
We lost you. Come on back. Unbelievable, family. So
yeah.
This is the philosophy of these people, man. Right? Read on.
Adultery is alien to them, yet when they discover that someone is an adulterer, they split him in two halves. They do this by bringing together the branches of two trees, tie him to the branches, and let both trees go, so that the man is tied to them, is torn in two. Dang, they going hard for adultery. He does not say whether the same punishment was meted out against Slaki to the guilty woman. Later on, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me go back over there.
Later on,
when talking about the vulgar Bogars.
Remember, I told you to remember the Bogars.
Uh-huh.
These are Khazarians, bro. Go ahead.
Bogus. He describes an equally savage method of splitting adulterers in two, applied to both men and women. Yet he notes with astonishment, Bogars of both sexes swim naked in their rivers, and have little bodily shame as the Guz. As for homosexuality, which in Arab countries was taken for a matter of course, Ibn Faldun says that it was regarded by the Turks as a terrible sin, but in only the episode he relates to prove his point, the seducer of the British youth gets away with a...
We lost you. Now I want you all to look this person up, Ivan Fedlin. Ivan Fedlin. Look him up because this is the source that Arthur Koestler is pulling from. What we're reading is the writings of Ivan Fedlin. All right? So don't try to discredit Arthur Koestler. You also got to discredit Ivan Fedlin. It's very important. So that's what they want to do. They want to try to discredit Arthur Koestler because he has been disowned by the Jewish people because they are upset with him for telling the truth and writing this book. They literally killed this man and his wife, bro.
Yeah?
Yes.
Dang.
Ivan Fedlin says that it is... Read.
1 second. Let me...
Yeah, so these things are important, family, and this is what we're bringing out. So you all can understand what the Bible says and why it says what it says. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, man. All right, somebody says, how do you spell his name? It is spelled IBNFADLAN. Look him up. He has his own book, and that is the source that Arthur Koestler is pulling from. We're reading the writings of Ivan Fedlin. Go ahead, Al.
All right. Remember where we stopped at?
Yes. Ivan Fedlin says that it is regarded by the Turks.
Oh, gotcha. Ivan Fedlin says that it was regarded by the Turks as a terrible sin, is speaking on homosexuality. But in the only episode he relates to prove his point, the seducer of the British youth or young boy gets away with a fine of 400 sheep, accustomed to the splendid baths of...
We lost you. Come on back. Splendid.
You hear me?
Yes.
Of Baghdad, our travelers could not get over the dirtiness of the Turks. The Guz do not wash themselves after defecating or urinating, nor do they bathe after seminal pollution on other occasions. They refuse to have anything to do with water, particularly in winter, When the Guards commander-in-chief took off his luxurious coat of brocade to don a new coat the mission had brought him, they saw that his underclothes were fraying apart from dirt, for it is their custom to never take off the garment they wear close to their bodies until it disintegrates. Dang, they draw so they fall off.
Right.
Another Turkish tribe, the Bashkirs, shave their beards and eat their lice. They search the folds of their undergarments and crack the lice with their teeth. When
we lost you.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Man, bro, these people, man, good gosh.
Hey, man.
Another
Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, man.
Another Turkish tribe, the Bashkirs, shave their beards and eat their lice. They man, they had the nerve to call us porch monkeys, bro.
Right.
They searched the folds of their undergarments and cracked the lice with their teeth. When Ibn Fadan watched Bashkir do this, the latter remarked to him, "They are delicious."
So now what we're doing is we're seeing, and this is a primary source. This is an eyewitness account by Ibn Fadan saying that he witnessed this with his eyes, man. So now what I want you to do, brother, is go to Job chapter 30. Start at the first verse. You there? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Book of Job, chapter 30, verse 1. But now they are younger. They that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. 30 and 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old ages perish. For want of famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven away from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks.
Now I want you to go back and read verse 2 again.
Yea, they
We lost you out. You want me to put it on the screen so we don't lose you?
It's up to you, Ak, but I'm right here.
Okay, go ahead.
It say, verse 2.
No, read verse 1. Read verse 1 again.
All right, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to sit with the dogs of my flock.
Now you can understand. Do you see what we just read about how they behave like wild animals? He said, I wouldn't let my dogs sit with these people, man. Right? Drop back down to verse 6. Start at verse 5.
They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks.
Go ahead.
Among the bushes they brayed. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of food, yea, children of base meat. Base meat. They were viler than the earth.
See that? So now we see So the question is, who is Job talking about? This is a prophetic scripture concerning Esau. Let's prove it. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. There were vile men. They dwelt in the clefts of the rocks. Start at verse 1.
The vision of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord God concerning Edom, who we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent from among the heathen. Arise, and let us go up against her in battle. Obadiah, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, and thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose high habitation is high, that said to his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exaltest thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
See that? So who dwell in the clefts of the rocks, brother is?
Those people who say it's so easy a caveman can do it.
Exactly. So why is this even a topic today? Drop down to verse 6.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and have prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. Shall I not say in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise man? Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and the mighty men, O Timon, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
See that? So as we can see, verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out, man? Esau has been trying to hide himself because he knows the prophecies concerning him. Now we have a clear glimpse of the rise of Esau during the time of Alexander the Great, as they started to develop the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire falling at the hands of Septimius Severus and General Niger, being pushed into the Caucasus Mountains by Diocletian and Constantine. Constantine developing a wall to keep them out. Them joining with Attila the Hun to take down the original Khazarians, to then being destroyed by Genghis Khan and being scattered, and them fleeing into the lands of Poland, and them being converted into Judaism. They also converted into Islam because we read about the Turks, right, Is? So those Turks became the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman Turks. The Ottoman Turks went down and conquered Saudi Arabia. And when they conquered Saudi Arabia, they are still in power of the Saudi Arabian Empire to this day. So now you have the Ottoman Turks at the forefront of Islam. You have the Khazarian Polish people that have moved into Judaism and have taken over Judaism. You have the Roman Christian, Roman Greco-Roman Empire during the time during the time of Alexander the Sixth. His real name is Rodrigo Borgia, who had a son by the name of Cesare Borgia, who became your Jesus Christ. So when someone tells you and get into an argument with you about whether or not the white man is Esau, he's the Muslim, understand this. The Muslims are conquered by the Ottoman Turks. So those at the very top are Ottoman Turks. They are Esau. They are the Khazarian Empire. When they say no, Esau's the Jewish people. The Jewish people came from Poland. They are Ottoman Turks. When they say no, they're the Christians or they are the Roman Catholic Church. You say The Roman Catholic Church was established by Cesare Borgia and his father Alexander VI, Rodrigo Borgia, which came out of the Caucasus Mountains. The Christians are Edom. The Jewish man is Edom. The Ottoman Turks, the Muslim is Edom. As we read in the second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is ruling right now, and the war that's going on in Israel are Esau versus Esau. They are vying for power. They're fighting each other for power. We need to be honest with this Bible, and be honest with history, so that we can see. This is the last thing I'm going to send you, and it's a very quick read. I want you to read this it's a book called Cruel Hoax by a man by the name of YirmeYah, who is a so-called Jew. What it would say here.
I'm waiting on it to come through.
Yeah, I'm going to send it right now. All right, here it comes. Come on, sir. Where you at? All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, read that out.
It ain't came through yet.
Come. Should be there now.
There we go. Let me get to it. It's the Talmud teaches that the Jews are chosen by God to lead mankind. In practice, this makes them God and gives them the right to redefine reality. It has made them
Luciferian. We lost you out. Come on back.
Yeah, there you go. Got me?
Yeah.
It has made them Luciferians. It has made them Luciferians. In other words, Harold Rosenthal, most Jews do not like to admit it, but he says most Jews do not like to admit it. This is what this nigga saying. I'm just reading it. But his God is Lucifer. And we are his chosen people. Talking about them people. Lucifer is very much alive. According to author Rabi, Christianity essentially preoccupied with individual salvation of man. Judaism only contemplates the salvation of the house of Israel, which alone can permit salvation of 70 nations of the universe. 70. Why 70?
Right.
Why don't went into that place with 70? Hey,
right. You're breaking up. Come on back.
Trying to tell you something earlier when I was bringing about the 70. I said, I'm just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got something for you.
All praise and glory, man. So, you know.
Let me finish reading it.
No, that's it. All right, man. So, you know, I pray that seal the deal tonight on that. This is actually part one. There's going to be a part two that's coming to this. Oh, before we go, give me that Jewish encyclopedia, man. We got to have that, bro.
Give me 1 second.
While he's getting that, family, there's a lot of confusion concerning this point. What we got to do is just be honest. It was the Lord that said they were the most vilest people on the earth. It was the Lord that said that they will be dwelling in the clefts of the rocks. It was the Lord that said there's no man, any fornicator like Esau, man.
I'm ready on you, Art.
Bring it out, Art.
It's the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1925 edition, volume 5, page 41, states Edom. Edom is in modern Jewry.
Woo! Read that again, Art.
Edom is in modern Jewry.
Oh my goodness gracious, it is over. Did I call it, Daddy, or what? It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
It's over.
It's over, man. That's what you call a Hulk smash right there, boy. I mean, damn. Source after source after source, man. Biblical commentary, biblical narrative after verse after verse after verse.
Common sense after common sense after common sense after common sense.
Right.
Sourcing it all the way up.
Hey, man. So, you know what? This show started with a whole bunch of comments. We still got about 45 people in the 37 people watching right now. This show started with a lot of comments. People were coming in, had a whole lot to say. We ain't got that much comments now.
That's right.
Ain't nobody got nothing to say, is you understand? Ain't nobody got nothing to say, man. Right? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Right?
Study to show yourself approved unto the Most High.
Hey,
it's
man.
like you got miles. It's labor. It's work.
Hey, we got to cut it out. We got to cut it out. Alexander the Great. We got Haman. Haman was an Agagite. The Agagites were the Amalekites. The Amalekites are the grandson of Esau, man. Agag was a Macedonian. Alexander was a Macedonian, right? The Edomites joined with Kittim and created Rome. It was not amalgamation to where Edom lost its identity. No, Edom, you are what your father is. Numbers chapter 1. They created the Roman Empire. We went to Revelation chapter 17. You was able to see that the Revelation chapter 17 was pertaining to Rome. We showed you the purple and scarlet. We showed you the 7 hills. We showed you the cup. We showed you the Babylonian worship. We showed you Carzaria. We showed you Poland. It's over, man.
The first lady of Poland telling you where they should go out of her own mouth.
That's right.
I read the sources on how the Gentiles up there, the Edomites, was naked and bogus. Matter of fact, we had an extra side notes. Even out of Josephus saying, Abraham saying the Egyptians was living the same way, just so they won't get too high-minded. Right. The same way for Abraham. Let me bring out one more.
Yeah, bring it out. Huh?
This is Jubilees 331. Remember, you were saying how they was uncovering themselves. It says on this account, it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who know the judgment of the law, that they should cover their shame and should not uncover themselves as the Gentiles uncovered themselves.
Woo! How?
Man. Yeah, it's just been brought out. Huh? So at this point, I don't want to hear no more who was Esau. I just don't want to hear it no more, man.
Right.
Listen, I want to commend you on the diligence, putting that work in, that effort. You know, a lot of people don't read books, and I understand that ain't no shade. We all got lives, and shoot, you got to find the time in between your life to get in these texts. But you know, all praise to the Most High for brothers who are honest and put that due diligence in to see what the text say. What do the research say? Not what opinions say, not what you think. What do the text say? So, you know, source up, or shut up.
That's right, man. That's
I
right.
enjoy kicking with you tonight, man.
Man, all praise and glory, man. I appreciate the help, man. You helped me out tremendously, bro. You
Sorry,
went. Shout out to brother Lou who came in earlier. Shout out to Maharaka, man, who dropped by, dropped a couple jewels. See, what I want to do is I didn't want to go with the regular argument that you get from camps. You understand? I'm in a camp, so I know what those arguments are, right? So I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to dig in the sand and really try to uncover this thing and give it to the people so they can go back to this video and watch it later, rewatch it. We had 3 hours and 15 minutes. Come back and get this good hard work, man. We're doing this for you, family, right? So listen, man, subscribe to the Source Debate League, right? Follow me on Instagram, YirmeYah, please say the Yah. Check out my new shirt, Let Me Finish! Let me finish! With this man yelling on the side here, all right? I think it's a pretty good work, man. All praise and glory. Right, you can get that shirt, man. Hit me up, man. Shout out to Elder Zabak, right? One of my elders, man. Shout out to all the brothers that have showed love and continue to support the league, support the movement, support the awakening, man. Right? This is what it's all about at the end of the day. We're promoting brothers and sisters to read, man. Right? So listen, the naysayers is gonna come. The Negroes is probably in the clubhouse right now. Ain't listened to this video, ain't watched this video, having the same weak arguments, man. But when that was down, I had a brother ask me just yesterday, how are you linking Alexander the Great with Esau? You understand? But this is not to shame anyone. This is actually to encourage brothers and sisters, right? I'm not no better than you are, right? You're no better than me. We're brothers in the nation of Israel, and we're here to serve. We're servants, humble servants, right? And we're thankful to the Most High that He allowed us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, time, patience, and long suffering to be able to bring forth this information. I want you all to come back with us tomorrow at 8 p.m., man. Another powerful interview that I will be conducting with our brother Freedom, who's coming on, and he's going to break down prophecies concerning the conflict in Israel right now and biblical prophecies concerning that conflict. So with that being said, man, we appreciate you all. Any last words before we get out of here?
All praises to the Most High who bless us with all wonderful things.
God, man, God, all praise and glory. With that being said, man, we'll say Yabba Shemiyah Shabrakatah.
I'm going to have to say this, and I know Kansu does not want me to do this. You're not even worth discussing these matters with.
Little motherfucker gonna try to rob me. Well, I'm gonna show you how we do it up here in Benton. No, I wasn't trying to rob you. Shut up! Why I bust a cap up in you. Now who sent you?
So what's up? We standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
All nuts the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you messed up. So fessed up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. So what's up? We standing tall in your short stuff.
Yes.
All nuts the bullshit that you dressed up. Address us on scholarship, homie, knowing you messed up. So fessed up, you look for the best, knowing that that's us. Sword clown, know that it's over like it's the fourth down. We the source now. Hear a big bang with tanks on ground. More than the scrimmage, yeah, we forcing the sin, yeah, we pushing no limit. Leave the fight with no blemish. You the hometown, but you not receiving no privilege. We gon' do you bad, rape, rob, and pillage. But we nothing like the white man. I can see that you a big fan. Every time we go live, I see you in the damn stands. Watching and plotting, I see that you stalking a bit.
Yes.
You laughing at people, they seeing you taking.
Here's the definition of plagiarism. The practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as
Crazy ass nigga, we the source, yeah, we cite source. Spitting hot flames more hotter than hot sauce.
For real?
Drummy ass nigga, I'm grabbing the light sauce.
Yeah.
Me and my amigos, we kill it and take off. So wake the hell up, the source of what validators. When you looking at the source, we know that we elevated. Our ancestors' writings, we work to commemorate it. Now you fully understand why the source is so motivated.